5. Stay home. That's the message from state, county, and city leaders to slow the spread of COVID-19. But what exactly does that mean without an official order from the governor? Plus, an update abroad as the death toll continues to rise in Italy and other countries take drastic action to combat the virus. We'll have the latest from Europe. And healthcare workers and first responders in dire need of protective supplies. How the community is stepping up to donate masks and other equipment because we're in this together. The News at 5 starts now.
We have agreed on a plan called Stay Home, Stay Healthy, which is both an order and a public awareness campaign.
Yes, there is an order coming. We're in the process of developing the details. We're giving the public clear guidance that that order is forthcoming.
At this point, as the number of COVID-19 cases grows, various state and county leaders are ordering people to stay home. It's to help slow the spread of the virus, to flatten the curve. Good evening. I'm Brittany Falkers. Today, 25 Portland metropolitan area mayors are calling for a statewide stay-at-home order. Now, Oregon Governor Kate Brown, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, and Multnomah County Chair Deborah Kafoury are working together on a stay-home, stay-healthy policy, but stopped short of issuing an order yesterday. So what exactly that means for us isn't totally clear right now. Here's Morgan Romero.
To be clear, an official order wasn't issued. At least not yet. In a press conference Friday night, Chair Kafoury, Mayor Wheeler, and the governor all said that they're working together on a stay-home policy over the weekend, and they'll have more info Monday. But during that press conference, they seem to somewhat still be negotiating and contradicting each other. Saturday, 25 Portland Metro mayors sounded the alarm and said the time for action is now, urging the governor to issue a statewide order. We have questions, and I know a lot of you do too. Governor Brown has pushed back against issuing a statewide order so far. So Mayor Wheeler drafted a potential plan and said if the state, county, and city are not on the same page, people can at least expect more social distancing measures from him by Monday. Other mayors have said the same. I want to get to this viewer comment first. Mary Nolan wrote us and said, "You have on your website that the governor is not mandating shelter in place, but she is. By saying stay home, stay healthy, which still means shelter in place, stay home, except for grocery store visits, pharmacy, and gas. Please communicate this." So if our elected leaders issue an order, it won't be a lockdown or a shelter in place. The term shelter in place is often used in situations of tornadoes, active shooters, or hazardous material in the air. This would be more of a directive to stay at home unless absolutely necessary. But on Friday, the governor didn't clarify if it would be a statewide order. Right now, practice common sense to protect yourself and others. And don't do this. This is Pacific City Saturday afternoon, in the middle of a pandemic when people have been told to socially distance. Tommy Nord sent me this time-lapse video driving back to Portland from the coast around noon on Saturday. We've been hearing from a lot of people who live on the coast, frustrated by the amount of people there. Taylor Blackman texted us and said, "Our town is mostly people 65 and older. People are flooding our beaches, and our community members are afraid to get their mail or groceries because of the amount of people visiting our home." Sherry Sopko lives in Seaside and said she's upset people didn't get the memo. Regarding Oregon's plan, Kimberly Brown asked us, how does stay safe, stay healthy work with having to meet attorneys at their personal offices? We don't know exactly how it'll work here just yet, but in other states' mandates, necessary legal services are still considered essential business and they can stay open. However, if you are meeting with someone in person, be sure to distance yourself. Frank Whipke wrote, "If there is a shutdown, does that include dog walking?" Glad you asked. First, leaders are not calling it a shutdown. Second, no, it doesn't. Under a stay-home order, like in New York, Illinois, and California, people are required to stay inside and work from home if possible, but there are several exemptions. People can still go outside and exercise while keeping a 6-foot distance, grocery shop, get gas, pick up prescriptions, go to the doctor, and take care of essential needs. They can also go to jobs considered essential, like healthcare, grocery, and certain government workers. Again, still to be seen what Oregon's stay-home order will look like. For now, Morgan Romero, KGW News.
Now, as we wait on that official order from the governor, we are seeing people doing their best to practice social distancing while also getting outside for some much needed exercise. Area parks were busy with people today. Just take a look at Laurelhurst Park in Portland and along the waterfront. A lot of people getting some steps in and breathing in that fresh air. Now, officials, as you just heard Morgan say, they're saying it's okay to get this kind of exercise as long as you can still stay at least 6 feet away from others. But on the coast, as we've been seeing, it's really causing some concern. It's packed, especially in places like Pacific City, as you can see right there behind me. KGW's Art Edwards is following that part of the story for us.
It's no doubt that it's a beautiful day outside and people want to get outside and enjoy the sunshine. On the Oregon coast, some people say it looks more like a holiday than a time when we're supposed to be practicing social distancing. This is Pacific City. It's been full of people visiting the coast all day long. We've received pictures and video from people who live at the coast, and they are very concerned about the influx of visitors. People living in Pacific City say they have a large number of senior citizens and retirees and limited medical resources. Lieutenant Gordon McCraw of the Tillamook County Sheriff's Office is the emergency management director there. He's been driving along Highway 101 and says it is as busy as he has ever seen it. He's surprised people are not listening to officials' requests that they stay inside as much as possible.
It's obvious that they're not doing that, nor are they adhering to the distance rule from each other. The cars were totally loaded, and obviously that many people parked and going to the same beach area. They're not doing the social distancing.
Lieutenant McCraw is asking for people to use caution if they are going to be outside. The governor and other officials, of course, have been asking people to stay inside as much as possible and practice social distancing. Art Edwards, KGW News.
Thank you, Art. And we just saw a Change.org petition. Some people in Seaside are calling for local officials to take proactive measures there as they begin to see more tourists. So now let's get on to the latest on the numbers in this outbreak. Here in Oregon, there have been 137 positive cases so far and 4 deaths. In Washington, there have been nearly 1,800 total cases and more than 90 deaths. Nationwide, there's been more than 25,000 cases and more than 300 deaths. Now, during the White House Coronavirus Task Force briefing today, Vice President Mike Pence said one of his staffers tested positive. The staffer's name and position was not released, but we're told the person did not come into close contact with Pence or President Trump.
Given the unique position that I have as Vice President and as the leader of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, both I and my wife will be tested for the coronavirus later this afternoon.
Last week, President Trump tested negative for the virus after being in close contact with multiple people at Mar-a-Lago who had been exposed. And the U.S.'s border with Canada is now closed to non-essential travel. The closure went into effect at midnight this morning. Now, a similar measure also went into effect along the southern border with Mexico. President Trump says the move won't impact trade and other essential traffic, and anyone who's traveling for medical, educational, or work purposes will still be allowed to cross. Officials say the closure will be reviewed in 30 days. Meanwhile, in Europe, the death toll there due to COVID-19 continues to rise. Italy reported more than 790 deaths just today. Meanwhile, Britain has joined the growing list of European countries shutting down public places to try to control the spread. Molly Hunter reports from London.
This morning, deserted, eerily quiet streets, not just in Rome, also in Paris, Madrid, and in central London. Europe is now the epicenter of the global pandemic. More people are dying of COVID-19 here than anywhere else. And hospitals now preparing for the worst. In Bergamo, in northern Italy, Sky News gained access to an ICU there. The doctor had advice for the rest of the world.
What I would suggest is just shut down to stop all the outbreak and not come in this kind of situation.
Here in the UK, finally catching up to its neighbors, closing schools and announcing a sweeping social shutdown. On Friday night, bars, restaurants, gyms, and theaters all going dark, but not quite a full lockdown.
You may think that you're invincible, but there is no guarantee that you will get mild symptoms
The biggest fear, the same as back in the U.S., overwhelming the healthcare system. But there is hope. In city after city this week, grateful nations cheering for their healthcare workers.
Now, after the government's new restrictions, cafes, bakeries like this one, bars, all closed except for takeout. The government here watching Italy and, of course, the rest of Europe very carefully, not ruling out further stricter restrictions. Molly Hunter, NBC News, London.
This week, we heard from people working in the medical field, worried about the dwindling protective equipment available to them as they respond to the coronavirus pandemic. The call has gone out asking people and businesses to help and donate. Christine Pitawanich shows us the response has been pretty amazing.
Scan Portland Fire and Rescue's Twitter feed and you'll see first responders there are grateful.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you.
A big thanks for all the donations that have poured out of the community after health officials asked for help to replenish the dwindling supply of protective gear for medical professionals working to fight the coronavirus on the front lines.
Well, it's been, overwhelming, to say the least.
In just one day, Portland Fire and Multnomah County got 759 face masks, 358 containers of disinfecting wipes, 7,800 pairs of gloves, and the list goes on. There are a few donation sites already set up. One of them, the Multnomah County building at 501 Southeast Hawthorne in Portland.
So it's just another level of safety for us.
Meantime, volunteers with Medical Teams International have been working hard.
Just working with incredible compassion and energy.
Also doing their part to fill the need.
We've been able to donate a huge amount of protective equipment to a wonderful partner, Providence, for use in their hospitals in Washington, Oregon, and California.
The nonprofit just so happened to get a donation of protective gear as the global pandemic was starting to ramp up. This week, workers packed up more than 2,500 gowns, 28,000 masks, 20,000 exam gloves, and 6,400 safety glasses.
And that equipment is so critical to keep their health professionals safe as they treat people with COVID-19.
And that's not all. Martha Newsom, president and CEO of Medical Teams International, says it's been preparing its fleet of 12 mobile dental vans to be repurposed and deployed across the region to help.
One of them will start next week in Issaquah in Washington to be part of a drive-by testing center. And so we're in the midst of discussions with our other partners to see how we can support testing in Washington and Oregon.
If you'd like to help, there are so many ways. You can donate new wrapped protective gear to either Portland Fire or Multnomah County. They aren't taking any homemade items at this point. We'll have a link to that information on our website. You can also donate to Medical Teams International, or you can also check out Oregon's emergency management website. Click on the COVID-19 banner and scroll to the part that says Make a Donation. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.